Hey, it's Coach Carol, and coming to you today really to chat about marriage and just how sometimes it's not easy, right? Frankly, it's kind of a saint-making machine, don't you think? Even though when we stood at the altar, with those rose-colored glasses on, we thought marriage was going to be a piece of cake. Yeah. Oh, bad joke. But it turns out that most of us experience, well, the good and they're not so good and kind of everything in between, right? Especially over a lifetime of bringing two individual lives together and merging those. And so most of us get into trouble when our expectations don't align with our spouses and we try to take control, asserting what we believe is the right way. In other words, it's like a manual. For instance, like if you had an owner's manual on your computer, say that there's a certain way to do things. Well, we kind of come into marriage in that way sometimes, right? But control and intimacy are opposites. You can't have both at the same time. If we choose control, it actually is going to extinguish intimacy. And as a wife, you're probably going to see him pull away. But when we prioritize the intimacy, it requires that we let go of the control and we trust him. And we really want his input or the other person's input. So on those days when you struggle in your marriage or you're feeling really unhappy and you wonder if he's ever really going to change, this is exactly where coaching has the potential to ease your pain and turn it around. So in my own 33-year marriage, I can find myself frustrated with my husband when he doesn't do the things the way that I want him to, like manage money or his time or his health. And though I've tried to share my thoughts and loads of ideas and suggestions, frankly, it lands as criticism, even when I don't mean it to at all. Like I really sincerely think that I'm helping and that I have value and I'm just contributing to him, but he doesn't want to hear it. He oftentimes he just doesn't want to hear it, and that's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's a defense mechanism on his end in some way, but I end up feeling frustrated and unhappy and hurt because he doesn't want to hear what I have to say. But because I fear what's happening is that I'm fearing what might happen. Like if he never goes to the doctor, he's almost 60 years old. Like some bad things could happen. I believe in preventive medicine. He doesn't. I believe in managing money a little differently. He doesn't. And so we can either keep conflicting. We've done a lot of conflicting over the years about that. But through coaching, what I've learned is that the only one I really have control over is me. I don't have any control over him and his decisions. Even if I strongly believe that it's prudent, not to use credit cards or to eat out a lot. Like you put on a lot of weight when you're eating out and you spend a lot of money that, to me, you can cook meals at home that are way healthier for a whole lot less money. But he doesn't look at it that way. Like to him, going out to eat is like about quality time, which is his love language. And then, of course, I believe in annual physicals and dermatology visits and things like that. So when I refocus in my locus of control, which is my life, and I stop nagging him, I think I do a pretty good job of that. I really try not to nag. But sometimes I do think that I know what's best in his life. I have ideas, but as much as I hate to admit that, our relationship spirals up when I relinquish the control and I just let it be. I used to make his doctor's appointments for him and nag him about getting those physicals, and I don't. I haven't in years, and therefore he hasn't been in 12 years. I don't want to be his mother. I don't want to be his manager. I really want to prioritize happiness and intimacy all around. So I really do want to respect him as the expert in his life and that he is a strong, capable man, very capable of picking up the phone and making appointments, even though he thinks that he isn't. He is. But, as a wife, I can spin in my thoughts about what he should be doing. And it's not easy to see those blind spots where sometimes I'm stepping into control. Fear sometimes just overwhelms us. But fear is never from God, ever. And so sometimes it takes coaching to help me see that and to be able to shift it. And it really is where coaching is absolutely so empowering. Having a coach walk with me and guide me to objectively look at how my thoughts are creating my reality has been a huge part of transforming my life and my marriage and saving my marriage, quite frankly. Because marriage does not have to be a constant struggle. There are skills that can be learned really to empower women, and husbands don't have to get dragged to counseling. This made my husband so happy way back when we first started, because we always ended up fighting when we left the counselor's office. It seemed if we weren't fighting, we were, so how's it been going the last 2 weeks? And you'd rip that bandage off, even if we were starting to make amends. And then, anyways, enough about that. Counseling's good in certain circumstances for sure. What I have found is that when a wife shifts, the entire relationship can shift. That's how powerful what I teach is. So no matter where you are in your marital journey, maybe you're newlyweds and you want to, you're starting to see him pull back a little bit and you're thinking, wait a minute, is there something I'm missing here? Yeah, you are. So you want to come and work with me. Or maybe you're knee deep in raising kids and you guys are starting to be like passing in the night and you're getting disconnected. Or maybe you're empty nesting like we are, and maybe you've really drifted apart. Like some couples, by the time they're empty, like my parents, they chose to get divorced when my brother and I were going to college, because my mother just couldn't imagine being home alone with my dad. Right? So things can really drift apart. But I want you to know that there's hope. There's always hope with God. Prayer is a big part of my work here. God is the miracle worker, and I tell clients to expect miracles. But if you're in pain, if you want more, reach out to me. You're all invited. Wives are invited to come join my Happy Wife community on Facebook, where I nurture and support and give ideas. And then, of course, you can connect, and I offer free relationship assessment calls to see if coaching is the next best step for you. So that's my mission, is to empower wives, specifically Catholic wives, to be able to really create strong marriages by healing ourselves, finding our happiness again. Self-care is not selfish. And so I'll guide you, right? So I am standing for you. Drop a note down below. I would love to hear, how do you view marriage and the road to sainthood, right? Like, has it brought you closer to sainthood? Do you feel like that? I am standing for you. We'll talk real soon. God bless. Bye-bye.